Welcome to the Osogovo YouTube channel. My name is Sam, back again for another video. This time I'm with Kenji Gorre, a man who scored a penalty to take West Brom out of the cup and set up a fixture against the Giants, Manchester United, also one of his old clubs. Thank you, Kenji, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, bro. My pleasure.
Just before we get into it, I just want to know where you're actually filming from.
I'm in Madeira actually now. I'm in Madeira in my apartment.
Brilliant.
So self-isolating. No. So yeah, keeping ourselves to ourselves.
Yeah, of course. It's just a weird situation because everyone I've interviewed is all in England, and then obviously you're out in Portugal doing your stuff.
Yeah. I'm out here in Portugal. Weather's good.
Yeah.
And we actually are going in. We have set times.
Yeah.
So we have every hour there's a new guy that will go in one-on-one with the coach, and we'll train on the pitch out there. So we have a special leaflet from the government and the police here that we can go to the stadium, train, and then come home. So that does keep it ticking, it does keep us ticking, and it's good to get out and actually get on the pitch again.
Brilliant. Have you been doing that the last couple of days or so? Or is that just...
Yeah. Started a couple of days ago.
Yeah, brilliant. So we'll go on to the start of your career. What gave you the interest to go into football? Obviously, your dad was already playing, I believe, for Huddersfield Town.
Yeah.
So did he give you...
Yeah, so how it all started really was obviously I was born into the football world. Yeah. Obviously my dad is a professional footballer, and all I ever knew was football. As my dad and my mum, they always tell me stories about how I used to be, as a baby, and the ball used to be my toy. Yeah. Whenever it was my birthday, they'd buy me a ball. They wouldn't buy me cars or something like that. They'd buy me a ball, and I'd be playing with the ball. When I couldn't even walk, I'd be kicking it and stuff. Yeah. So I think it's that I was born with it. I was born with it, and I loved it.
Of course. Who was the team you supported? Was it Manchester United at the time, or was it different?
At the time, when I was younger, obviously, yeah, I grew up in Manchester, so it was I always had a thing for United, but I kind of just supported wherever my dad played. At that time, I was supporting Huddersfield and then moving on to Barnsley, but yeah, I supported them. But as I got into playing myself, it was I went to United when I was 6, so it was something that I supported them because I played there. It was one of them.
Yeah, brilliant. What was it like being in such a illustrious footballer education? Obviously, some of the players that have come through there have done amazingly well, and obviously you got the opportunity to be in the sort of situation they were in terms of the playing.
At that time, you're there and you're going through all the age groups and stuff. And I was there for 10 years, so it's a long time. It was normal to me. It's part of my routine. It's like going to school. It's somewhere where it's literally just a normal thing to do. It's you're right, bro. It's like Giggsy's walking past, that sort of thing. It's now looking back, that's such an experience where I'm looking back, it was an amazing time in my life, that I got to experience. That is something that's really big, and I do cherish it a lot. And it's also made me the person I am today, going through all the age groups, it's creating you into that person. I'm there a lot of the time.
Yeah,
so I used to also, leave school early to go there. So it was something where, when you spend your time there, that's really creating the man you are.
Yeah, of course. You obviously touched upon going through the age groups. Was there anybody in particular that you sort of gravitated towards? Obviously, if you're in every day, more or less, you sort of have the people around you, don't you?
Yeah. So at that time, I think we had a really good group, and we were all really close. I still have a really close friendship group that from that time. Yeah. Some are playing, some are not. But to name a couple of names, Tyler Blackett is really close to me. Yeah. He went through. He's playing at Reading now.
Yeah.
Joe Rothwell, who's now at Blackburn. and obviously Jesse Lingard, who's playing there now.
Yeah.
You know, Dan James. There's a lot of them now that you know you cross paths in your career. You're there. You have a relationship with them, and then now you're seeing them at the top. It's like, wow, you start to support them in a different way. You know, like my support for United kind of grew seeing the players that I played with playing.
Especially, like you say, with Jesse, you saw his progression as much as you were trying to develop your own. It's quite a special thing to have, isn't it? Especially
I saw a lot. You know, at the time also you see Pogba's progression. You know, you see how he was there, and you see how how he left and then came back.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so I was there when he actually left. So I saw a lot there, and now Andreas is there, and there's a lot of people there that you can that make it a bit more special. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Experience.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, then you came away from Manchester, and then the next destination was obviously Swansea. That's where you sort of you impressed. Was it the under-23s you played in? Top scorer in one of the seasons, which gave you your debut away at Selhurst Park. What I've gone there as a fan, and that's it's intimidating enough to be there, let alone obviously as a player. What was it like for you playing there?
You know, at that time it was like a reward for me. You know, that whole season was such a good season for me. Like you were saying, like I was top goal scorer, most assists in the league, and I was just like waiting for the opportunity. I was actually on the bench for the last 5 games, and I was also like traveling with them a lot. So I was like, when's my opportunity going to come, sort of thing. And I'm just like itching for the opportunity, praying, going, please, Gaffer, man, like every day, like trying to give more. I was even asking a couple of players, like, yo, bro, go down a little bit so I can get on. Give me a couple minutes, you know.
Yeah.
So it was like that real love that I really wanted to get that reward, and that's why I didn't really have that nerves or something. It was more like a relief at the time. Like, yes, all that hard work from all the years growing up, you know, coming through at United, going to Swansea, it was like, now I've actually done it. You know, that's what it kind of felt like. And then to step on that pitch, you know, to have my family and my fiance now in the crowd, and also my auntie was there actually, and from Holland she came over. And, you know, it's a special moment that I will never forget.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, so some fans would think going onto the pitch is mental bit as a player. But did you feel like it was more of a now I'm on the pitch, it's tunnel vision. I'm trying to do the best I can so I can cement my place more so in the team, as opposed to let's soak in what I've got already.
Yeah, I was really like, I want to go and make an impact. You know, I didn't get long, but I was like, I'm going to go on there and make an impact and make a name for myself. So the next game, you know, I can get more time. That was kind of my thought process in that, and it was just like, I want more of this. As soon as it finished, you know, all the guys were so like, you know, they were congratulating me in the change room, and I'll never forget. You know, it was like such a good feeling. My best friend now actually was on the bench at the time too.
Is that Raheem?
Yeah, Raheem. He was on the bench there too, and he was for him to experience that with me, it's like it's such a big moment. It was such a big moment.
Yeah, of course. And then you moved back to where you, well, not particularly the birth country, Holland, where you joined the Eredivisie to play for ADO Den Haag. Do you feel like that was the most formative time in your career in terms of like professionally? You were getting a couple of games, and it was sort of the first time that you were playing at the top, essentially, in Holland.
Yeah, so in that time, obviously, I'd made my debut in the Premier League, so I was like, I want more of this, you know, I want more of first team football. So I had a lot of interest at that time, and I actually signed a new contract at Swansea then, and things were looking really bright for me, you know. And then the manager of ADO Den Haag at the time, he was calling me, he was saying, listen, this is where you're gonna progress and everything, and I had a really good feeling. So I went there. I went there, and it made me realize how football is. Football is ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Football is all about enjoying the highs, but also enjoying the lows, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I went there full of high hopes, and it ended up not going the way that I expected it to go. I learned so much there. I learned like how it was like to not be playing, how it was that the manager had different choices, and how a manager can say something to you and not fulfill his word, and things like that. So it made me see a sort of different side to football in that sense. Yeah. I did have a lot of nice memories there also. Don't get me wrong. I was there with my family a lot, and also they got to see me play at that time. And there was also a time when we played against PSV, and I actually got the assist when the keeper scored. So moments like that, like that, where I'm never going to forget it.
Of course. And then I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but this is probably the most equipped part of the video, as when you joined Northampton, I actually moved into the area and I went to go and watch at Sixfield that whole season. Funnily enough, I've got videos of the penalty shootout on my phone from when I went.
Oh, wow, man! You need to send me them.
Yeah, I've got them. It's pretty much you taking the penalty and you running over, and all the players just like steaming in, and then the fans going, yes. That's brilliant.
Yeah, great moment, man. Great moment. It really was.
You were playing in such a good team as well, obviously with League One experience with Matty Taylor, Alex Ravel. Was Raheem Hanley there as well? He was.
Yeah, Raheem was there at the time
alongside you. It must have been a great moment. Although West Brom, you got them at the perfect opportunity, I believe. Did you feel the same? Obviously, they were struggling in the Premier League, and that was your sort of perfect opportunity to play them, really.
Yeah, I think also the way that we played with no fear. We really didn't play with any fear, and that was such a big part of that game, where I look back and the time was going on, we were playing well, and as the time goes on, they're gonna have more pressure.
Yeah.
Because we've got no pressure. Like they've got the pressure. We're playing with freedom, sort of thing, because there's no expectations. Their expectation is they have to win, and if they're not, like, as Tony Pulis was the manager, I think, and they were playing the long balls a lot, and that suited us so well. Like, we had Gabs at the back.
You got Xander Diamond as well. He would literally.
You got Xander. They don't lose headers, so it was perfect for us.
Yeah.
It was perfect for us. It played in our favour. So yeah, we grew into the game. We were playing. It ended as a draw. And when it went to penalties, it was massive. Like, I remember the gaffer coming to me and he was just like, "Kenji, you go fifth. I want you to go and win it for us." And
that's massive.
And then for it actually to happen was just massive. And then it was really a moment where I really embraced that moment. It was a moment where that I will. It was a big moment in my career where I can really say that touched me in a way that I can't describe the feeling.
In terms of like the penalty as well, you could see it in the video with the West Brom fans behind that goal. With that being the winning penalty, anybody could have like skied that, but you were just so calm and collected, and then obviously you went and rushed over to the fans. It was brilliant to watch. But obviously, how was it playing in the League One? Bearing in mind, at the time, I believe Northampton had just come up from League Two, and but it didn't seem like that. They were a very stable League One team, and obviously you got your opportunity there.
Yeah. I think at the time that we had a good team, and when we came there, Rob Page had high aspirations and high inspirations for that time, and we started off really well. We started off, I think, the first 10 games or something unbeaten. So we started off really well, and we were progressing in the cup, and yeah, we were just doing really well. We were taking it game by game, and yeah, when we knocked West Brom out, then I was like, hopefully I was like doing interviews and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, my hope is that we get United. And then the next day, we ended up drawing against United. We drawing United, and that was a moment where I was just like, wow, man, like to know that it's gonna be, be on Sky Sports. My family are gonna be watching it.
Yeah.
It would be a moment where I'm gonna be playing against some of my friends. It's gonna be a moment where I'm gonna be seeing the guys that I grew up with, and also a team that's the world's best.
Absolutely, you were,
and that was a real big moment for me in my career.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, I'd gone to the previous tie, but when Man United came, I had to watch it on TV. But it was a quality Man United team, wasn't it? With I believe Ibrahimovic was there. Marcus Rashford was coming into his own. Yeah. Michael Carrick at the end of his career, was it the
I think he scored that game as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he was just outside the box, and it deflected or something.
Yeah.
But was it the same mentality for this game, for the West Brom game, or was it a whole different ball game?
It was literally like, with this one, it was like go and express yourself sort of thing. That's how I felt. Like I felt like this is a time where we can really, just enjoy it. Like enjoy the game, enjoy the occasion, and I think we really did that. It was a draw. We were drawing for so long that
absolutely
that they started to have the pressure again. And like the same as West Brom, they couldn't get the goal, and it was the same with United, where they had to go and put the big dogs on. They had to go and put Ibra on, put Marcus on, put the people on to go and make that difference, because we were really. I actually hit the bar that game, and like if that one went in, like we would have been 2-1 up. So it was like a moment where it could have gone either way. So to know that we tested them in that way, we tested a Premier League side from League One, shown to me personally that I can handle the level. Yeah. And for the other boys, it's also a wake up call for them. That is like, right, if this is what we can do in this team, like who's to say that we can't do it in the Prem?
It's brilliant. Obviously for you and that team at the time, unfortunately they got relegated to League Two. But my experience of Northampton was crazy. Obviously, you guys were training at the college. I was there as a college student, and I walked past when you were doing training. And I remember I was walking towards the sports bit because I was doing sports, and then Paddy Kenny walked past me. I didn't say anything to him. I just went, "No way, that's Paddy Kenny," and I'm walking past. It's crazy. But, a great team it was. Like you say, unfortunately, they got relegated. But moving on now to in Portugal with Nacional now. Is that how you say it? Sorry.
Yeah, Nacional. Yeah.
What was it like moving to Portugal? Obviously, was it like second nature? Obviously, you've moved from Holland to England and then to Holland again.
Yeah, I think growing up in England and growing up in your mind, it's just the Premier League. In your head, it's only the Premier League, and you're only thinking about the Premier League. So when you go in down to League One and stuff, and the Championship, it's more thinking like England is the only way. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna go to League One, and then I'm gonna go make the step. Yeah. And I realised that there's also other ways to get to the top.
Absolutely.
There's also other avenues that you can take. But what I needed the most was I wanted to play. I just wanted to play. And I was so like unapologetic about that, where I said to Swansea, like they were like saying to me how this is going to be your season. They offered me a new contract at the time. Mm-hmm. But also Nacional said to me, they said, listen, we really want you. Costinha at the time, he was the gaffer, and he won the Champions League, and he was calling me saying like all his plans of what he wants with the club and his aspirations with it all. And for me, thinking, right, I'm going to go and play against Porto, Benfica, Sporting, like, why would I not take this opportunity? You know, like, it would be weird if I didn't take this opportunity. So I ended up taking the opportunity. Taking the opportunity, and now I'm here. You know, and never really looked back.
Yeah, absolutely. With obviously you're reaping the rewards now. You get to play in a nice country as well. Would you recommend to other players to go out of their comfort zone? Obviously, we've seen prime examples in Jadon Sancho going to Dortmund and doing really well. Would you recommend that to a young player who's I won't name names, but like a Phil Foden, if he's not getting the game time, going somewhere else and trying to fulfill his potential in a different country in different way?
Yeah, I think with Phil Foden, if you're using that example, like his quality, you know, you can see that he can play for Man City. You can see that he just needs that opportunity, you know, and I think with Guardiola, he's waiting for that opportunity to put him. You know, in every interview that he speaks about Phil Foden, it's really like that. But as a young player, I feel like it's so important to go somewhere where, you know, don't be scared to make a decision when you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't be scared to go into somewhere because at the end of the day, wherever you go, whatever you do, it's only for your good. You know, it's only making you a better person. Like, for me to go to different countries and experience different cultures and everything, you know, it's only making me bigger. It's only making me understand the world more. So I'm a kind of guy that really does see the positive in everything and does see how you can, with not just football, but also outside of football, you know, this move right here has really shaped me into the person I am right now. And I wouldn't be this person if I didn't move out here. You know, I would still be the same person. Well, I don't know who I would be, but I think I would. I don't know. I definitely know for sure that I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Obviously, you've with the culture changes. It must be. Do you feel like you've got a whole lot more life experience now? You've obviously moved from Holland to England to Portugal. You've experienced all these different cultures, and obviously playing with Curacao as well, internationally.
Curacao.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Next time I'll do all my translations.
No worries.
Yeah, but
Curacao.
Yeah, but playing with Curacao internationally must have been amazing for yourself and your family, because your mum's from Curacao, isn't she? Yes.
Yeah, my mum's from Curacao, grandma. So, yeah, we qualified for the Gold Cup, and the manager rang me and he said, "Listen, I want to take you to the Gold Cup with us." It's and it was an opportunity that I couldn't say no to. Absolutely. It was like one of them where I was actually in Dubai on holiday at that time, and I remember I was with it was like 4 a.m. at that time as well, and I was getting phone calls. You know, and then I ended up, all right, it must be important, you know, because he called like 2-3 times. So I answered, and he said, "Listen, I want you to come to the Gold Cup. I want you to experience this with us, and let me know what your thoughts are." And after that, you know, I sat down with my parents and I said, "Yeah, I'm leaving. So I'm going to we had a conversation about it, and then we ended up going to the Gold Cup, and you know, and that experience there is an experience that you know, one that I will never forget in my life. Like, to go into that team, they were so welcoming for one. Like, it was just so high spirits.
Yeah,
like,
it looked like
people
that as
were
well.
dancing, playing music, like really coming back to their roots. And when I actually made my debut against Jamaica, it was like, my mum was so proud of me, my grandma was so proud, and that feeling to know that you're playing not just for yourself, you're playing not just for the team, you're playing for the country, you know, and that honor is massive. So that's something where I didn't really know the importance of it until I got there.
Yeah. Obviously, in the Gold Cup as well, you touched upon Jamaica and playing United States of America in the quarterfinals. with the quality in the Gold Cup as well, that must be a brilliant way to show your talent against some of the best in Christian Pulisic. I believe it's in terms of like Jamaica, it would have been Leon Bailey, maybe.
Leon Bailey, the winger.
Adrian Mariappa, possibly. Played
yeah, to be honest, like at that, like you're playing against good players. You know, you're playing against players that are the best in that country.
Yeah.
So of course they're good. At every country that you're going to play, you're going to play
quality,
against good players. But what was so amazing about us that we're such a small island. You know, we're such a small island, and to create history at that Gold Cup was something so special. It was something so special for us personally because we felt like we did it, but it was more to know that we did it for the country and to really put that country on the map. And that was something so big when we got through to that quarter final, we played so well, and they ended up winning 1-0, a bit of magic from Pulisic.
Yeah, of course.
But we did so well. We had opportunities, and that was actually my first start as well. And that was, I played personally. I played well too. But even like the other team, USA, after the game, they came up to us and was just applauding us. They were saying, "Wow, man! Like you guys, like we had like 60% possession and stuff. Like we were way like we had more chances, more shots. So it was something where, but don't quote me on that. Like that's what I think. But don't quote me on it. But yeah, we did really well, and we put a real big stamper on it. So hopefully next year, when the Gold Cup is back again, we can really put that next level step there.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about squad morale as well. Obviously, with your first Gold Cup, I remember seeing a video. Maybe you were on a bus, like you were at the back of the bus, and they were all like singing and dancing and like having a good time. Was that one of the main aspects as to why you feel like you did well in the Gold Cup, because you were so close?
Yeah. Like that was such a big thing. We were all dancing on the bus. Like energy was high.
Yeah.
Like
could see that.
in the mornings we'd come together. We would all pray in a huddle, and it was just an experience where we're not just teammates. It's a real family. You know, it's real connection that you have there. And that's and like I was just saying before, like you're playing for a country, so it's so much more powerful because everybody knows their role. Everybody knows what they're here for. You know, like, and that's what was so big. And just to be around everybody with the same sort of mindset, same sort of things, where everybody's coming together for one real purpose. It's massive.
Also with certain players as well, like certain, in terms of like Wilfried Zaha, he could have played for England instead. He's gone to play for his native country, Ivory Coast, and like yourself, you've both sort of gained a little bit more than a player, say, that have played for England and not really got a look in, considering the bigger scale of things, and it's more personal to you in terms of your family.
Yeah, I think it's like each to their own. You know, it's wherever everybody feels comfortable. But for me, like I said, like it was an opportunity that I couldn't say no to. Like to know that I've just made my grandma like so proud and made my mum so proud. Like there's no better feeling than making your family proud. You know, so that's where that comes from. You know, like you can wait to play for England, play for Holland, maybe. Like, you can wait for that opportunity, but at the end of the day, you play 2 games, play 1-2 games, and
it's
you
really
know,
insignificant,
like you said, like can Wilfried Zaha then cement his name on the team sheet? For him, it could be completely different. He could have thought, you know what, I want to play for Ivory Coast because, you know, this is for my family again. You know, I'm doing it for the family, and I'm doing it for, this is my blood. You know, I'm from here, so that's kind of, that's why I'm saying each to their own. You know, so with his situation, I completely understand why he would have picked Ivory Coast. really do understand. Leon Bailey, the same thing. I completely understand why they would pick their home nation.
Again, you see it all the time with even like Raheem Sterling. He could have played for Jamaica. He could have played for England. Like, say, each to their own. But I'm gonna move on now to the in terms of, you'd like to talk about the mindset instilled in players today. Obviously, I was talking to somebody this morning about different things in terms of like mental health in football, and you don't realise how powerful it is. Some of it almost is like 50% mindset, 50% like the physical battle. And you and your fiancée Isabella have got, you founded On The Ball Mindset, didn't you? Could you explain what the message is you're trying to put out to people?
The message is to basically know that we are more than just footballers.
Yeah.
You know, we base our happiness, we base our success on football. We base our life on football. So if football's not going well, that means our whole life not going well. So we basically, On The Ball is all about realizing how football is a part of us, but not all of us.
Yeah.
So there's football, there's your relationships, you know, there's your spirituality, there's your children, you know, there's so much more to your life than football. So that's kind of where On The Ball came from.
It's almost like, it's a really weird analogy, but like having loads of plates and then focus on one plate, and then all the rest sort of break just because you're so focused on this one thing, and then it all once it finishes, where'd you go from there? I spoke to Nathan Arnold this morning, who is now a speaker, and he said after he played Arsenal, he had an epiphany, and it set him off into the direction he's gone. And I think it's really, really good for a player to come out and talk so well about like mental health. And I think in the, like we spoke about this morning, in previous eras, but men were told to man up, like you're in football, close everything out, you're here for a reason. Whereas now people are more accepting of it. And I was just going to touch upon as well your mindset planner. What content can people look for? Obviously available on theballmindset.com.
Yeah, so the On The Ball Mindset Planner is basically to it has everything in there that I have learned, that I've experienced, and that I've done that has changed my life. You know, so the stuff in there is really to set out your goals, to set out the things, why you're doing what you're doing, you know, to really get clear vision on where you want to go in all areas of your life, not just football. You know, it's to start your day with real gratitude, to get real focus for what you want in that day. And that's really what the stuff that has changed my life. So that's why I created something that I really wanted to impact other people's lives with. And this is something that I know it helped me. So I hope that it will help them.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a picture recently of your mindset planner, and it's things like what things are exciting you about today. Not many people take a minute just to go, well, actually, I'm going to be doing this, and like I've said, mindset is just so important for everybody, not just football, and hopefully with yourself and other people, we can like with the initiatives they've got in the Premier League now, hopefully that can spread over the many leagues.
It's massive. It's important. It's all important. You know, the more people speak out, the more people will speak out. You know, it's that sort of thing, and that's just my hope is that people will feel inspired, people will start to wake up. People will start to really live their true self, and that's what's so important in this world, to really live your truth. To live who you are, and also to live in the moment. As footballers, you're like always on to the next thing, next club, next this, next that, and that's where you base your fulfillment on. But at the end of the day, we've got to present ourselves with where we are, and also know that right now, one day we might look back and think, shit, I wish I embraced it a bit more. I wish I enjoyed it a bit more.
Oh, 100%.
Because everybody can look back at their career and think, when I was at United, I wish I enjoyed that a bit more, man. Yeah. I wish I asked the guys more questions. Or at Swansea, I wish I really enjoyed that playing in the Premier League a little bit more. That experience there. Like there's sort of things you can look back, but at the time you can look back and think, I just want to leave. I just want to get out of here. But
that's the sort of
things where your situation was amazing, but you're in your mind, you're somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm so passionate about it, because like as I was saying, obviously we're more than footballers, but it's more of a fact of a lot of it comes down to like football. Yeah, football is one thing. Like you were saying, the different plates and everything. Like you can't base your full happiness on just football.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
that's kind of what I would come down to.
Yeah, of course. The more I've interviewed players, I've found out that they've lived these lifestyles. They're going a million miles an hour. They don't think about anything else because they're so involved in their like, I want to do well. And like you said about the Premier League, when you're in League One or wherever you are in the Football League ladder, you just think, I want to be at the Premier League. But it's like you say, it's not the be all and end all of your happiness, because once you get to the end,
it's like they say, you can be a success like on the outside,
but
on the inside,
there's no self-love.
There's no success. Really? There's no self-love. And that's what's just so way more important than anything else. To actually enjoy what we're doing with footballers. Like, let's enjoy it, man. Like, we're not going to be footballers forever.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, players can get so bogged down in the little things as well. In terms of, like you say, what is the next thing? What am I going to be doing next? And then when somebody realizes, oh God, like I don't know what I'm going to do next, because they've always been so focused on being a footballer, that could, in terms of like the youth team as well, you come through, and if you don't make that first team, you're like, oh, this is the end of the world. Even that's so much pressure for a young player. Just to, you get to that stage, you've been there with all these players for so long, and then you're told you've been released, and you're like, I've got, what do I do now? I don't know what it was like in previous sort of eras when you're told, because they probably didn't do qualifications. They were like, you've been released, and then people go, well, what do I do now? I've got no qualifications, and I'm not doing anything. Whereas now, hopefully, more young players are being taught the skills to be able to go out in the outside world.
Because like you're saying, realistically, not everybody's going to make it. So it's important to really do have these steps in place that are actually going to set up the guys, because, like I'm trying to look back at my life, and football is kind of all I knew. Like football was something that I was I'm gonna be a footballer. That's it. Yeah. I'm not gonna be anything else. So I actually understand the mentality of it, and obviously, I don't want to wish any injury on anybody, but an injury can happen, anything can happen, and it's definitely something that we should take more serious. because it will also come to a time in your life where football's finished. You know, it's the same thing. It can finish at 12, it can finish at 15, it can finish at 36. Well, how much maximum? 36. So it's like in that time, like it will finish the latest 36. So at the end of the day, it will finish one day.
I think that's what people forget, isn't it?
You know,
it's going to finish at one point.
It's going to finish at one point.
What has in terms of your situation now? What has it been like for yourself maintaining fitness? And because it must be very hard. Obviously, you say you go into the stadium now. I've seen obviously your Instagram, and you're able to obviously go in. What was it like pre being able to go back into the stadium? Was it hard?
Yeah, it was. No, it was big, man. I loved it. When they told us that, I was like, yes. Like, it was nice to hear. It was like, when I went there, obviously you're thinking about, you know, can you catch it? Can you this? But on this island, you know, there's not a lot of cases on the island. So we're really managing it well here. So everybody really is isolated well. And so when they mentioned it, I was like, yes, that would be great if we can go and train there. Like, it really did open up for me. And that's why it was so good that we were like, yes, we could actually train, get the ball, shoot on target and stuff. It's a good feeling to get back on the pitch.
Absolutely. And you see with obviously the fitness coaches and the people surrounding the club, when they're on the pitch with you, they're wearing masks, they're wearing all the precautionary things.
Yeah.
And in terms of like where you are, I couldn't see England doing that at all. I would hope we would do that at some point, but I don't see. What's your opinion on it in terms of other places doing it?
I think everywhere is different. You know, everywhere is taking their own precautions. Like, I don't know the logistic side of you know, the corona and everything of what it really. You know, I don't really know what the statistics and all that stuff is. Like, that's for the doctors to decide. So I think we should leave that for the doctors sort of thing to decide there. But because here, like, we don't have a lot of cases and stuff, like, that's why we actually take it upon us to do that, because we are actually first in the league at the moment. So we want to actually go for that title. So for us, we do need to stay focused, stay fit. And also, you know, in this time, it's a real time to get to know yourself right now. I think everybody should be taking this time to really embrace and set themselves up for that new normal, you know, to get themselves set up for whatever they want to go into, you know. Like, we have so much time on our hands right now, but what you actually doing with it, you know. And for me, for example, for me personally, I'm working really hard on my business. I've you know, it's mad to say, like, my dream is to play football, but my dream found my purpose, you know, and that's where I'm kind of at in my career right now. So with that, it's I just encourage everybody to go and figure out, you know, more about themselves and what they really want in this life, because we are privileged to live. So I really do want everybody to go out there and live the best life that they can live.
Absolutely. With like you say, people should be essentially like soul searching to see what they should like find their route. Say, be looking at later life in terms of like what they want to do after football in relation to football. But I was just going to rewind a little bit to the mindset side of things. What do you feel sort of helps your mindset as a player, and what makes you tick essentially?
The mindset planner.
Yeah, really.
basically all the content in the mindset planner. I think that's something that, like I was saying before, the stuff in there really did change my life. It made me see things differently, you know, and that's something that I'm really passionate about, and that's what, you know, that's what I just want everybody to start doing, sort of thing, to really figure out what really drives them, you know, what do they really want in their life, Like, how does it really look to live the best life that you can live? Like, people don't think about that kind of stuff. So it's really sitting down with yourself, getting to know who you are, setting new priorities for yourself, and really going after whatever you want in this world.
I think it's quite a poignant question to ask. If you had your own movie, what is the turning point in your sort of life or career? Because you say you've obviously moved to Portugal. Would that be your turning point?
Yeah, like, I think every experience that you have in your life, you know, it's all making you into the person you are today. So with that being said, it's like all the experience, you know, from Swansea, from making your debut, from then going to Holland, from then going through a situation in my relationship, then going through a situation, you know, where I was gambling a lot, then going through a situation of moving countries and living here on my own, then going to Portugal. You know, it was like and now I'm with my fiance. It's like now I'm really shaped, and all these experiences have made me into the person I am today. So there was not really a specific turning point. It was more of the fact that everything kind of led up to this.
Yeah, of course. In terms of like the gambling, if you don't want to delve into it, don't worry. But what was it like for you as a player? Obviously, we've seen different people come out about their experiences with like the gambling side of things. What was your experiences of it, and what do you feel you needed in terms of to come out of that cycle?
So yeah, so it was basically like, you know, football. There's loads of pressures that go into football. You know, there's pressures of your family, pressures of the people, expectations on you. You know, there's so much pressure that goes into football, and when you leave football, then what? You know, and that was like, you've got so much time on your hands, but that's just like what you're gonna go and do.
Yeah.
So with all that pressure, with all that things that you have inside, like, you're gonna go and go do things that. Yeah. To take your mind off the things
it's finding that release, isn't it?
On that release, exactly, that release. So what I went to go and do was go and gamble.
Yeah, of course.
You know, go and gamble, go there all day, and it was because I made excuses, like I was bored. You know, like there's nothing else to do. Why not? Like, might as well.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're looking back, and it's like you don't have a purpose to your life. It's because you don't know what really matters in your life. It's because you don't know what you want from your life.
Yeah.
You know, because you're always chasing that. But what if that doesn't happen?
That was the point for you where you definitely need that sort of soul searching to go. I need to fill that void with something else, and your business obviously was the best thing for you. Do you feel like now that you've got your free time, this is the perfect time where you can obviously build your business and have a better positive outlook?
Yeah, so obviously right now, so with everything that I've experienced, you know, the gambling, it was a long time ago. It was about,
of course.
I think 6 years ago now. But like right now, you know, with the clients that I'm actually coaching right now, you know, to just see their progression, to see how they're changing, to see how they really are going after everything that they want in their lives, and also not just football, you know, their actual outside of life. And that's what you know, that's what's just so amazing. That fulfills me more than anything.
Yeah. Obviously, with are these people fellow teammates? Are these people outside of football? Or are they?
Yeah, they vary from everywhere. To be honest, you know, there's a lot of players. You know, I don't want to name any names, but there's a lot of players, you know, that reach out, and then we speak through things. But regarding my clients and stuff, obviously everything's confidential. But yeah, it's just that it's really just finding for yourself what really matters in your life, and building your life around what matters.
Also, I was just going to touch upon as well. You mentioned yesterday about your podcast coming up. Obviously, you don't want to delve too much into it because you don't want to spoil it. But what are you looking to sort of talk about in these podcasts?
So this podcast is basically I wanted to provide a platform for footballers to come on and share their story, and for other footballers to be inspired and also to learn from people's experiences. You know, we're all in this industry, but we all have different perspectives, different journeys, different outlooks. So that's why I wanted to create this for everybody to really relate to it and to understand, you know, that we're also more than just footballers for one, and that everybody's stories, you know, can inspire other people, that they can listen to it and be like, yeah, I went through that. Like, oh, he handled it this way.
Yeah.
And, you know, not everybody's perfect, and everybody's gone through certain things in their life. And I feel like everybody can learn from other people's experiences is more.
I think it's
rather than just being told what to do, sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, so someone like myself, I wanna speak to different players and dissect their story with them, because I've found that with certain players that they get some enjoyment out of the different things that have gone in their career, but also it gives them some thinking time to go, well, actually, that didn't work out. What can I do differently? And absolutely, with you speaking to someone like yourself, you've more often than not probably been through the same situation as themselves. And if you talk to fellow teammates, that can only help as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely,
it's true. It's really true. It's really just everybody literally just living that truth. You know, be who you are, be authentic. Like, at the end of the day, like, everybody's their own star of their own movie. You know, everybody's just looking at their own sort of life. So stop caring what people think about you, because they don't really care what you're wearing. You know, you care more what you're wearing than the guys looking at you. So that's how I kind of look at it.
That's probably the best thing to obviously end it on. Thank you very much, Kenji. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we go on?
No. I appreciate you having me on here, bro, and I like what you're doing. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I wish you all the best, bro.
Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video. If you would like to learn more about Kenji's business on the ball mindset, obviously he has his planner. You can go and get on his website, which can help you with different things in terms of mindset and in terms of the simplicity of what could go on in daily life for yourself. And also, if you haven't, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please share the social media accounts, and we will see you in the next video.